Welcome to the Red Carpet Report, your backstage pass for celebrity book clubs, book adaptations, and new book releases. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Kirsten.
And we're your hosts.
Today's episode is a plot twist where we're going to be going deep on a topic that's very fun because it is coastal books set in Maine.
Love that.
It's just such a fun topic to go through.
And we know how much you love Maine.
I do love Maine. It's the best. But before that, we are going to get into the red carpet rundown with a little caveat that we are actually filming in advance to prepare for our kids' upcoming summer breaks and getting them all settled in. So we're recording this in advance. If there's breaking book news, we won't have it this week, but we'll be back in a week or two with more breaking book news. Today, we're just going to talk about some fun little topics.
So let's talk a bit about some of the romance adaptations that are going to be coming, I think, to Netflix in the next few months. We did get an announcement that Bridgerton's next season it's been announced. It's going to be in 2027. And it is Francesca and Michaela.
See, I am surprised by this one because John just died at the end of this season. So I thought they were really going to go and give her another season of a break before putting her into a new romance.
Me too. And I thought they were definitely going with Eloise.
Me too. It's her time. You know what? I think so many of the other characters that we fell for are slowly pulling back, and Eloise can't. Like, she's one that people absolutely love. So I think they want to keep her on for as long as possible.
You know, that's a good point because in the books, when she gets married, she marries someone that they had been corresponding. He lives further away. So I'm guessing you're absolutely right, because how are they going to keep her in the show if she marries someone that's far away?
Right. So when she goes, it might be like a Daphne situation where we won't see her again.
And I wonder if that will be the end, because does anyone really care very much about Gregory?
Hyacinth and Gregory? No, not yet. They haven't really. Hyacinth was a little bit more playing into that role, and I could see them pulling Hyacinth up more into a spotlight. They sort of did last season. Gregory is just chilling in the background.
I know. Poor kid.
I kind of feel bad for that actor, but I also don't feel bad for that actor because he is getting paid. He is on one of the hottest TV shows, and he doesn't really have to do anything.
No.
He's just chilling in like a cravat.
Although he did
sofa.
grow like 3 feet.
He did. They both grew up a lot.
Because I think he was 10 or something when they started. I don't know.
So maybe we'll see more of them in the coming seasons. What other things have been announced? I know for Netflix too, and this is not romance related, so just a little detour. But given when this is coming out, on July 1st, the new Enola Holmes, number 3, is coming out, also on Netflix.
So excited about that. Yay. I love those series. And I was a little bit afraid after the first one because Millie Bobby Brown got really, really, I think that's not her name anymore, Millie Bobby Bon Jovi. I don't know what her new name is. She got really, really popular. And I'm so glad that she keeps doing these movies. They're so good.
Is Henry Cavill going to be in this one? Because that's
I think
why
he's got
him.
I mean, let's be honest, that's why I watch them too.
He is a handsome fella. A petition to get him into Bridgerton.
Woo, make me swoon. Okay, so the one that you and I are both very excited about, which is not a summer book at all, is In a Holidaze.
Yes, I'm so excited for this one. Christina Lauren's time loop Christmas romance book, in which I forget the female protagonist's name. This is like my kryptonite. Goes for a week-long vacation with these people and just keep Groundhog Daying the same week over and over again until she ends up with the person she's supposed to end up with.
Yes.
And it's such a great holiday romance. It's probably one of the best holiday romances ever.
And it's not repetitive. It's not annoying, because she does different things each time.
I think it's just going to be really fun.
So good.
Now, one that I am really excited about that's coming to Prime Video, they announced that Elsie Silver's Rose Hill series, which is like Wild Love and Wild Rose, I think is the other one. And as a big fan of Yellowstone, I am excited for this, even though I've never actually read these novels.
Oh,
I know, shocking.
Nice.
I know.
You're very into the cowboy whole situation.
I am. And I think their size intimidates me. I'm pretty sure I have them somewhere. They are thick.
Really?
They are big books. I'm trying to look. Wild Eyes. That
No
orange one.
way.
Look how thick that is.
That's really big for a romance.
I know. And right around the corner over there should be Wild Love. And
Wow.
they're chunky.
Yeah. Which they must be really good if you can do multiple chonkers.
Yep. And I will not listen to it on audio because Zachary Weber is the narrator and he is a raging anti-Semite.
Yeah.
So
we don't.
I won't listen to his books. Yeah. So I have to like commit to actually reading it.
Which I think though, even a thick romance, I think sit down, go on the beach, and a few hours later, you're going to be a couple hundred pages in.
It's true. I should just do it.
You don't need to like soak up every word.
No, you just flip on through.
We have The Charm Offensive, which I read it. It is an adorable romance, and I think it's going to be great. It's reality TV, and
I would like to see a reality TV as the plot, because it's normally either reality TV or whatever else, but you don't normally see a reality TV premise for a fictional movie. Does that make sense?
yeah, because I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's like the Usher hand drawing the hand.
But I think it could be really fun.
I think it's going to be adorable.
So this is a prompt that I am super excited about. I went to Maine years ago at this point, a few years ago, to this lovely city or town or resort, I guess, in Algonquin. And I basically fell in love with Maine. The Maine coastline, like all of it. I just want to live in a shack on the coast.
So anyone who knows Kirsten knows that she's literally obsessed, pun intended, with Maine ever since. Everything to do with Maine.
Yep.
Books and
sweatshirts
and needlepoint.
Yep. And my husband is equally as enraptured. Like I also have a thing for the Chesapeake Bay. I love water. I love a coastal water. I love water with trees. That's my thing. I really like that.
Lake water.
Similar.
Mountain water situation.
Yeah, I would be down with a lake too. My husband is not as enamored with the Chesapeake as I am.
Oh,
he likes it. He's happy to go whenever we go, like once a year, 4th of July. It will be coming up soon. Very much looking forward to it. He is not as enamored as I am. He likes it. I keep saying I want to buy a house there. And he's like, no. But then when I'm like, oh, by the way, like we should go back to the Cliff House in Maine. He's like, yes, now, when are we going? He loves it. We road trip up. We get our lobster rolls. We go on our hikes. We just relax by the pool. Amazing. So I like to read a book set in the location that I'm at when I'm in a fun location that I really like. Which is sort of how this list came to be.
And there are so many good books on this list. What I like is that they're not all fiction or historical fiction. We've got everything. We have some fantasy in there. We have some great historical fiction. We have some romances going on.
Yeah.
So I think
we're kind of all over the map.
Yeah, there's a little something for everybody.
And we tried in our highlight, our bigger post has way more books about Maine because we've read a lot of them. But in this little mini segment, we're going to just kind of give you a highlight, something from each genre. All right, you go first. I've been talking a long time.
Okay, so my first book, and I think I've spoken about this one before, is Frozen River by Ariel Lawhan. I love her books. This one is fantastic. It is wintry.
Okay.
Maybe if it's really hot, like it is here, 95 degrees, and you feel like you want to cool down, you read this one. It's like a little blast of air conditioning. Just saying. So it's a historical fiction. It's a murder mystery, and it's about a woman who is a midwife. And it's based on a real person, a real woman who I read about afterwards. She was outstanding. She was just a remarkable woman. And a body is found, and it's the whole story with her and who killed the guy, and I loved it.
And this was a GMA pick, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Going out there with a good, strong celebrity book club pick. I like that.
Okay. What about you?
So I'm going to go with Rebecca Fallon's family drama. I think I talked about this. This might have been a bookmark earlier in the year. It is a really great literary fiction. It's got multiple timelines going on. Essentially, we open with a mother has died and she has twin children and they're at the funeral. And then it sort of jumps ahead to how both of the twins are managing adulthood with this missing question of like, who is mom? And it goes back in time to the mother's life because she was actually a soap star,
Right.
married to a professor, and she would fly to and from LA to their home in Maine every week. She'd fly home Friday to Sunday, come in, parent the kids, and then leave again. And the dad has sort of kept that secret because she was a soap star before DVDs. And so there's no evidence of that. And so the kids are kind of uncovering this and they both are affected by it in different ways. And they're trying to grapple with like, who is their mom? Who is their dad? And just sort of, it's a coming of age almost in some ways.
What year was it set? Is it like 70s, 80s?
I think she's 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
Is the historical fiction portion of
Okay.
it. And then it's like present day, essentially. So it was really great. I love a story about, I love a family drama.
Yeah, you do love a family drama.
And this one is just a really fun one.
This one sounds like a good one.
And the setting of LA versus Maine is really kind of cool to see this juxtaposition. And I also spent a lot of time in LA growing up. So I just kind of like there's certain spots that I always have an affinity for reading about. And so I got to read two
Both
in one.
of them in one.
Yeah.
It's a twofer.
Yep.
Fantastic. My next one is The Wishing Game.
Oh, this is a fantasy.
It's a fantasy. Well, it's a magical realism.
Your
more.
favorite category of
my
fantasy.
My favorite. There is a writer who has written the Clock Island series, and this woman had grown up reading the Clock Island series. Everybody loved it. The series wasn't finished, and the author puts out an invitation for people to come and kind of compete to see who's going to get to write the final one.
Oh.
He brings the people onto the island, and it's not real fantasy. You're like not sure what's real and what's kind of Disney-ish. And it was a great story. I just loved it so much. I think it's such a great pick just to like feel good and take you away. And it's about an author, and you can't go wrong.
I love a book about books. And that's why my next one is about a book about books as well. You Are Fatally Invited, I believe, is the one that I'm also going to talk about. And it's Andrea Pelago, I think is her name. And it's a fun, also set on an island, also a bunch of writers coming together. But this one is a thriller mystery sort of combo. It is very reminiscent of the Agatha Christie. Oh my God, I'm blanking. What's the one set on the island and like everyone's dying?
Then There Were None?
Yes.
Oh, look at me.
Yes. Essentially, all of these writers show up to this writing retreat at this famed writer's home, and they're all struggling in some way. And they start to basically die. Like power is cut. They're stuck on the island. How are they going to get out? They've all done bad things. It's multiple POV. So you're kind of reading everyone's secret. And the main person who's narrating, you don't know which of the people it is, or if it's another person that's kind of like behind the scenes doing things. And it was a really satisfying read. I love when an ending kind of catches me off guard, but also makes so much sense that you want to go back and reread.
Right. As opposed to catching you off guard because you're like, dude, that's so not possible.
Right. Or it's like,
It was a
that was
ghost.
out of left field, but like I totally see it and let me just power through. This one I was like, wait, I want to go back and reread the whole story with that perspective, which I think is a fun way.
It is. I've that's happened to me a few times. Alice Feeney, His and Hers, and Claire McIntosh, and I'm picturing the cover, and I Let You Go.
Okay.
Those were the two that I was like, And I literally had to stop the book and go back to the beginning and start flipping through to see. And then I was like, how did I miss that the whole time?
When that payoff happens, you're like, yes, you stuck the landing.
Yes,
you nailed it. And I
yes.
felt like this was one of my favorite. I think it was last year or the year before. It was on our best list of mystery thrillers for the year. And it's a really fun one where, again, this like the island and the coast, and it's not just set in Maine. It plays a role because they're remote, because of the way that it's designed. And so I think it's a really good one for a book set in Maine.
I love that.
Now, I feel like we're going to talk about our book club picks. So whenever we choose one of these plot twist episodes, it's because we're highlighting a prompt that's part of our reading challenge for the year. So if you're new and you're just tuning in, every year we have a reading challenge where we give you one prompt per month. And that prompt then, like this one for July, is book set in Maine. We have a corresponding list of books, and you can go and pick anything on there or read from your own, research or whatever you might have interest in to follow that prompt. And we also do these seasonal reading challenges. So this is part of the summer prompt as well. They always overlap, or the summer reading challenge, I should say. But the great thing about when we do these prompts and when we read along with the reading challenge is that we also have a book club. And if you join the book club, you get to read the book that we choose and then come in, chat about it with like-minded book friends. And then the author comes in and you get to talk to the author. So this month, we are going to be chatting with, or I should say next month. So for July, at the end of July, we are going to be chatting with Virginia Hume for her book, Liberty Island. And I will say Liberty Island is her new book, and we're going to talk about that. She also has a different book set in Maine called Haven Point, and that is equally as wonderful.
Fantastic,
so
yeah.
You can't go wrong with either one.
You can't. I absolutely loved this one. Haven Point is the same family, and you will see some overlap, but you don't need to have read either one to appreciate the other one. So Liberty Island is a historical fiction that takes place in two timelines. So one is the late 1800s and one is the 1920s. So in the late 1800s, you have a woman who has been trying to write a textbook with her father, and her father no longer has interest in writing the textbook. She's trying to finish writing it, but in the meantime, she needs to make money. And they make it a little bit funny, but it's not, because she needs to give good reasons to her employer why he actually should pay her for the work that she's doing. She always needs to give these excuses. So what she decides to do is start writing stories. And she's writing stories about her niece and some other little girls, one of them being her friend, who go off into a little island and they basically let them run free, which was very different from what they expected from little girls of the age who needed to be very prim and proper. The books were how to be good wives and mothers. And she wrote these other stories that were groundbreaking. Then in the 1920s, we're seeing Julia, who is the niece, who's getting involved with the suffragette movement. So you see these two timelines. The stories are very moving. You get very connected with the characters. Virginia's such a good writer, so I can't wait to talk about this book with her. There's so much to talk about.
There really is, and I love the way each of them is a feminist in their own timeline, right? But like one is trying to get the vote and one is trying to get paid, basically, to be allowed to work and to sort of be groundbreaking with her storytelling. I don't think we have enough books about the suffragette movement. And I think this is particularly timely right now, this story and this moment for us to remember. It's almost how I felt about the book club for troublesome women. When I was like, I had no idea that in the 1950s, you couldn't have a checking account without your, dad or husband opening it for you. And there are sort of these controlling of women and to see the progress that we've made.
Yes.
And maybe we don't want to backslide into that progress. So
I love how she writes her characters and how they all weave together from the past to the present. There's love stories going on, but it's not a romance. It's just relationships and her relationship with her mother and relationship with her brother. So this is also a family drama.
Mm-hmm.
If you love that. So I'm so excited to discuss it with her. There's just I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, I have a million questions in my head.
And the Liberty Island that they are inhabiting is obviously set in Maine. So that's where they're summering. And that, again, that island plays a central role in the plot. And so it's why we wanted to choose it. And also, like, regardless, we wanted to talk to Virginia. We've interviewed her before. She's a delight. And we knew we were talking to her about one of these two books because they are the quintessential Maine reads.
We have reached the bookmark. So what book are you going to tell us about this week?
So I am going to go a little back to May 5th. A new book was released. And it is essentially a beach read, but it's actually set in the timeline between Christmas and New Year's Day.
Okay.
But in LA. But the premise and everything else makes it totally appropriate to read in the summer. It's not overly Christmassy. It's not overly whatever.
You'll understand
think it doesn't
why. Snow in LA anyway.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't snow in the prison compound where it takes place. So the book is Payback by Elizabeth Rose Quinn. And essentially it's about this correctional facility where inmates can pay to only be incarcerated on the weekends. I don't know if this is real, but in LA, I believe it probably is. So these highfalutin, what?
I was about to say it's not possible. And I'm sitting here and then you're like in LA and yeah.
I think it's totally possible.
I can see it.
Essentially, if you've been committed a nonviolent crime and you're really wealthy, you can pay to hang out in society on Monday and Friday and then show up to prison and burn off your prison time 2 days at a time, essentially. All of these women, it's mainly 6 women. It's 6 women are there for the week between Christmas and New Year's because it counts as double points. So these 5 days count as 10.
It's like double pay.
Yes.
Got it.
And so they all show up and they have this awful correction officer and he's going to mess with them. He's a total masochistic, horrible human being. And so he arranges for a male prison inmate from a different high facility prison to come in for the week and so that he can be picked up for transfer at the end because he's being transferred to another prison. And of course, on the first night that they're all there and that this man has been dropped off, they wake up and they find out that the correction officer is dead. And so one of the 7 of them has committed this murder. But you have to understand that the women are bringing in their craft supplies to glitter up their invitations and bringing their yoga mats and bringing their this. And they treat it like a retreat.
I was going to say, I mean, it sounds horrible, but it almost sounds like a vacation away. People are cooking for you. You don't have to.
Oh, no, you can bring in your own food to the correctional facility. So they all come and they decorate their cells for every single weekend. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
So in other words, it's time to read without anybody bothering you for 48 hours.
Yes. Yes.
Or listen to an audiobook and do your needlepoint.
Yes. Because you'd be allowed to have a needle in this particular thing.
Right,
anyway,
okay.
So they're trying to find out which of them is the murderer. And they all have secrets, obviously. There's a couple different narrators running through it. And it's a romp. It's a romp of a beach read. You could totally, I think there's paper snowflakes, or they make mention of Christmas Eve and New Year's Day because it's obviously that's the time period. But you could absolutely read this on the beach. And I think it's perfect.
That sounds adorable.
It's fun. And I haven't seen it anywhere. So I feel pick it up. It's really silly.
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. So the next podcast is going to be the July. How are we talking about July? July Celebrity Book Club Picks. Now, we're not sure if it's going to be next week or the week after. It really depends on when the announcements are made. So what do you want to see picked? What is your most anticipated? What books have you read? Comment and let us know. Here's also a reminder, there is still time to join the book club. So you can come and talk with Virginia with us. Like, subscribe, comment, and happy reading.
We'll see you next time.